What's up, Dunk Squad? It's Wayne Duncan, No Vision Duncan, and we're here with year 4 of the Madden 24 New England Patriots Realistic Rebuild. If you tune in to part 3, 2, and 1, we've been slowly but slightly improving every season. We went from 3 wins to 4 wins, and then we got up to 6 wins last season, which was still last in the AFC East Division. We still missed out on the playoffs, no AFC Championship or Super Bowl appearances, which is not Patriot football. It's not the Patriot way. If you are a Patriots fan, since Brady left, they could get used to losing, but I'm not about to get accustomed or used to losing, especially with me taking over here for the Patriots. The only thing we've been able to do is nail our draft picks when it comes to the development traits, as the draft king. But we are going to try to win in this Gerard Mayo era after Belichick. So with all that being said, let's waste no more time. Let's meet the roster, the team, the squad here before the preseason starts here in year 4. At quarterback, we traded Mac Jones away and we essentially drafted Mac Jones. Again, just a couple of spots lower in the first round. I think we got him like at pick 14, traded down with the Cincinnati Bengals. But when you look at his stats, first rookie season was just abysmal. 22 interceptions, only 18 touchdowns, passing yards not so bad. But that was his rookie year. We gave him a pass. Sophomore year, a bit of a sophomore slump. Up the passing yards, that was great. The rating, not bad. Touchdowns could have been better. Interceptions did go down by 3, but 19 is still way too high. And when you look at the touchdown interception ratios, he literally just flipped the numbers around. Got sacked, a bunch of times too. So we have to take into account how the offensive line played last season. And when you look at what Mac Jones is doing over here with the Raiders, the team that we traded him to, uh, man, he played like ass. 28 interceptions. I guess Cologne isn't Mac Jones, but I mean they're about playing at the same level. But we are going to give Angelo Cologne one more season at least. I know we're deep into this realistic rebuild on year 4. We only have a year 5 after this. Would love to try to have him as our quarterback the rest of the way. But if his play continues to go on a down spiral, we will try to find a replacement at the quarterback position, whether we draft a rookie for the final year or we sign a veteran that can lead this team to a 7th Super Bowl for the New England Patriots. We have this guy that we drafted last year, just to light a fire under the ass of Angelo Cologne, and we just brought in Hendon Hooker, who was in the free agents before preseason. Ramondre Stevenson, who was our most consistent player in year 1, and he's been consistent besides what was that, year 2, where he had under 1,000 yards, under 4 yards per carry, but he got back to form last season, over 1,000 yards, 4.3 average, and double-digit touchdowns with 10. Has been fumbling the ball, and we have to get a longer rush than 10 yards, longer than a first down run. We have Font going into his 3rd season as the backup. We brought in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. At fullback, we have Matt Christmas going into his 3rd year. The receivers, T. Higgins, Demario Douglas, and Hunter Renfrow. I like them as a trio, but we could upgrade Hunter Renfrow. He is 30. He is going to regress. I think his contract is up after next year. But I like the development of Demario Douglas, and I just like the trio of the big body T. Higgins on one side, and then you have Demario Douglas. He can run down the field, and then Hunter Renfrow, of course, working the slot. But we drafted two receivers in this past draft. We got Max Hayes. He's a speedster, probably going to do special teams. And then we have Peter Irvin, 6'4", 217. He's another big body. So 2 future starters that could, take over for Hunter Renfrow. But if we do move on from Hunter Renfrow after the season, it could be one of these 2 guys, and we wouldn't have to waste a draft pick on a receiver. At tight end, Andrew Jenkins, who is one of those draft picks that I was talking about that we've been, hitting out the park. He was an X factor. He is our Gronkowski. So love having him as a target for our quarterback cologne. Hunter Henry has been exceptional, whether he's been tight end 1, whether he's been tight end 2, and that's why he's been on this team this deep into the rebuild, going all the way to year 4. And then we brought in Will Mallory. At left tackle, we have Trent Brown, Cole Strange. It's the same unit. Outside of center, we still have Jake Andrews, who we gave a chance to last season. But we drafted this guy in the draft, Leonard Murphy, hidden dev, rookie center, and he just completes the offensive line. At right guard, we have City So, he's been the GOAT offensive lineman this whole rebuild. 1 sack the first season, none in 2024, which he should have won offensive lineman of the year, should have received a dev trait upgrade, but that did not happen. But if he continues to play like this, I will extend him. I think his contract is up after this year. We are going to pay him. He is 28, going to be 29. He is stuck on that normal dev, but sometimes production is everything. You're producing, putting up numbers, you're playing well, you deserve to get paid well. Right tackle, Awenu, and then on the defensive side, you got Christian Barmore, who brought in Emmanuel Ogba to back him up. Keon White brought in Logan Hall to be his backup, but with Keon White, lost his dev trait, right? Didn't play that much his rookie year. He was backing up Dietrich Wise, and then came in halfway through the season in year 2, where he put up 50 tackles, 8 TFLs, and 5 sacks. Thought he was going to build on that. Kind of did with the TFLs, 13 TFLs, 40 tackles, only 2.5 sacks. But they took his dev trait away from him. So that's going to slow down his development a little bit, and it sucks. He's going into a contract year. He's going to be turning 28. We're going to have to decide if we want to pay him or upgrade the position. But we'll wait and see, because Marquise Bonner, our first-round pick from last year in the draft, superstar X Factor, the next Aaron Donald, but here on the New England Patriots. He is going to wreak havoc in the trenches and hopefully allow someone like a Keon White, take some pressure off him to allow him to play a bit better. We got Matt Judon, who I said I probably should have traded him a year early, and now it seems like it could be a year or two too late for us to trade him. This could be his final season with us, but he's been playing well. He's been like one of our only Pro Bowlers every season, but we have a couple of young bucks under him, learning from him. We have Grayson Barber, who we just took in the draft, hidden dev, power rusher. And then we have Charles Patton, who was kind of in the same position as Grayson Barber was. Hidden dev last season, but because he didn't play that much, lost his dev trait. We're not going to make that same mistake with Barber. He is going to get some playing time this season, and we might even give some playing time to Charles Patton to make up for not playing last season. Brian Cutler, who was a victim of robbery, was a superstar linebacker in his rookie year, and got bumped down to normal for some strange, odd reason. But we got him back up to star, at least, got him back up to that. We have Hardison going into his second year, kind of following in the same footsteps as Brian Cutler. Right outside linebacker, we have Jelani Tavai. And then at corner, Christian Gonzalez is our CB1. We have Marcus Jones, who played corner 2 last season, but we're going to move him back down the depth chart to corner 3 or 4, and he's going to, do what he does best, special teams. We have Brandon Quick from last season, but a guy that has more upside and potential than Brandon Quick is Glenn McGee, who we took in the draft, 21 years old, 75 overall, hidden dev. He's going to come in and be at least our corner 3. He's going to start from day one, or I'm going to let him battle out with Brandon Quick, but I think it would be better for us long term to get Glenn McGee up and going. At free safety, we have Marte Mapu, still have Brandon Schooler here, and then Jabril Peppers, Kyle Duggar, who we're going to use as our corner 2 and our slot corner. to pair up with Christian Gonzalez and then, Glenn McGee. And then we'll still have Marcus Jones and Brandon Quick. And then at kicker, we have Chad Ryland. And then at punter, we have Bryce Behringer. I don't think we have any. We do have some team captain slots that we can give out. Ramondre Stevenson is a name that we could give one to. Trent Brown on the offensive line. You know what? We did lose David Andrews, so we are going to give it probably to somebody on the offensive line. See, it's out of Ramondre Stevenson. We're going to go on the offensive side because I think we have most of our team captains on the defensive side. Ramondre Stevenson. Maybe even Hunter Henry. He already has one. We'll go Trent Brown. He's the oldest, the OG on the offensive line. And do we have another? We do. Maybe I go Ramondre Stevenson. Let's make sure we haven't left out any better maybe Jabril Peppers. You know what? We're going to go Ramondre Stevenson. I think, he's been our most consistent player through the whole rebuild, so he deserves that C patch on his jersey. Well, not on the jersey because the Patriots don't put it on their jersey. But that is the roster for year 4. That is the team captains, and we are now going to simulate the preseason. We got my Hawks week 1, and we win 22-7. When I say we, I mean the Patriots. I know I'd be on the rooting for the other team. But Joey Thomas, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And Cologne was 0 for 1. Must have got injured, or we just made one pass attempt and we took him out. Was afraid that he would get injured, and Joey Thomas came in and did his thing. Font was good. And then receiving, Hunter Renfrow had a touchdown. Peter Irving, that's the 6'4" receiver that we took, big body receiver. He had a touchdown his first game. Logan Hall, Judon, Ogba, Patton, couple of backup edge rushers. And look at the young corners, Brandon Quick and McGee, battling for that corner 3 spot, and both getting 4 tackles and interceptions. In the interception, 3 for 3 for Chad Ryland, made a 53-yarder, made all his extra pointers. We had 2 punts inside the 20, and we walk out with a W. Week 2 of the preseason, we got the San Francisco 49ers. And we lose 20-17. And Joey Thomas is lighting it up. 4 of 9 for Cologne. Now, Joey Thomas, I forgot about Hendon Hooker. But Joey Thomas is trying to solidify that backup quarterback spot and maybe QB1. He is playing against the backups, though. Hunter Renfrow, 2 touchdowns. Kyle Duggar with a lot of tackles. Christian Barmore, Bonner, both with sacks. No missed field goals. And I think what we're going to do for this next game, well, we have wide receiver mentorship. Hunter Renfrow and Max Hayes. Who is Max Hayes? That the speed guy? Well, we're gonna allow Hunter Renfrow to show them what he knows best, and that's working from the slot, working out of the slot. And we are gonna give Hendon Hooker. I know Cologne needs some playing time. Needs to work out some of his kinks, but we're gonna go Joey Thomas, see how he does with the starters, and then give Hendon Hooker some playing time. That's the only change we're gonna make here in the preseason. Make sure our quarterback doesn't get hurt. Cologne is still gonna be our quarterback at least for week 1. And we lose to the Arizona Cardinals, going 1-2 in the preseason. Preseason matters, but it doesn't matter in this case because it is only preseason. It does not count. But Hendon Hooker, 5 of 6. Thomas throws an interception. So that interception is going to solidify Cologne as the starter. There was never any, like, there was no question. It was going to be Cologne, but Joey Thomas, he made a strong argument. And Hendon Hooker, we may go with 3 quarterbacks on the roster this season. Ramondre Stevenson was great. That's why we made him a team captain at Christmas. The fullback got a touchdown. Fullbacks matter. Jenkins, the tight end, got a TD. Cole Strange and Wenu giving up a couple of sacks. But Glenn McGee looks like he's going to beat out the other corner for cornerback 3 spot. And then Mapu getting an interception. Chad Ryland making his field goals. And now we have to make our cuts. We have 64, I think, on the roster. We have to cut it down to 53. So you already know the 64 minus 53 is 11 players that we have to cut. We do have to look at the stats before we make those decisions. And Joey Thomas was the man, 5. But that one interception, Hendon Hooker was 5 of 6. He was really efficient. And then Cologne, 4 of 10, didn't play the last game. But we're going to go with 3 quarterbacks, I think, going into the regular season. Font was really good. Christmas had a touchdown. Hunter Renfrow working the slot, 3 touchdowns. Peter Irvin, that's the 6'4" wide receiver. And what was the name of the other receiver? He had to have played, right? It was Hayes. So that's who Hunter Renfrow was taking under his wing. And look at that, 1 and 2, Hunter Renfrow and then Max Hayes. Offensive line. And then Tavai led the team in tackles. McGee led the team in interceptions, 5 of 5 for Chad Ryland. So I am ready to make some cuts. Ready to put people to practice, but they'll still remain a part of the squad as a practice squad member. We're going to go with 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs. I don't know who this receiver is down here, so we are going to release him. We are going to release or put Rashawn Peterson on the practice squad. We have all of our offensive. Oh, we have a lot of guards and centers. Cofield, goodbye. Julius Peterson, so long, or welcome to the practice squad. And then this Greg Bryant, I think we drafted him last year. Going to move into the practice squad. We have a better backup center in Jake Andrews now. Did draft this guy, David Ramirez, but we are going to move him to the practice squad. Agba, Logan Hall, Worthy. We're going to keep those 2 under Judon. Jaden Woodbay, he can go. And then we always have a lot of corners on the team. Bolden is a special teamers. Castro Fields looks like he has the speed. And then all these other unknown, no name. Actually, they do have names, but we don't know them. These auto-generated players. Deion McKinley. Jose Holmes. Like how I said there are no names, and now I'm saying every single one of their names. Xavier Cook. And we have another team captain. Thought we didn't have any more. And that should be all of the... Yeah, so that's all of the cuts. And we had another team captain. We must have got rid of some of our, or most of our veterans on the team. But who could we award this team captain spot to? Definitely not Cologne. He's not ready to be our leader. We need him to be our leader. The special team guys are still young. I'm thinking maybe Jabril Peppers. Christian Gonzalez is our corner 1. Jelani Tavai. What I like to do when I name team, and this is something small, but when I do team captains, I like to do like the players on the real team. So even though like Marcus Bonner, he's an X Factor guy that I drafted. He's still young, still 24. You could make that a team captain. He's probably the best player on our defense. But I like to use veterans. You know, Matt Judon is 34. He's a leader. He's a guy that guys look up to. They're gonna talk to. You know, mentor. So I like, you know, the age factor plays in. And then also, like, since we have June on, I don't want to make Tavai because they're, like, playing the same position right now. Jabril Peppers and Duggar are both safeties. So I kind of don't want to make Jabril Peppers team captain, even though Duggar is a gadget player. We move him all around, special teams, linebacker, money backer, corner, slot. You know, he does it all. So, I mean, he's not held to one position, so we would still be justified in my own way of naming Jabril Peppers a team captain. But we're going to hurry and name somebody team captain. Hunter Henry's already won. We got Trent Brown. Like we did Trent Brown. I don't want to do another offensive lineman, of course. We may go Christian Barmore. I think that's a good name. He's been really good. He's been consistent on the defensive side. Make sure. Yeah, he's been emerging every season. He's been averaging 5 sacks. So, Christian Barmore, congrats, shout out, salute, new team captain. Now we can upgrade some of these players, set up the depth chart, adjust the lineup, and get on with the regular season. As we upgrade all of them. Now, this is the Cologne season. He has to play better for us to be sold on him being our quarterback of the future. We have Joey Thomas. We have Hendon Hooker. We might go Hendon Hooker because he is the veteran, but Joey Thomas played well. Yeah, we'll just keep it that way. Ramondre Stevenson, Font, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This is good. Receivers should be set. Tight ends, offensive lines, never an issue when it comes to the depth chart. I really haven't been having no problems when it comes to my depth chart being reordered and all of that. So, but we are going to make a change here. It is going to be, where is it? Kyle Duggar as our. Going to go the rookie McGee, Gonzalez, and then Duggar right there in the slot with Marcus Jones and Brandon Quick. Marte Mapu. And then we're going to go with Quick right there, and then Jabril Peppers, Duggar, and Brennan. And maybe Marcus Jones. We'll just leave it like that. Special teams will be Max Hayes, and where's Marcus Jones? Should be number 1 up there. But we're going to use him, and we're going to use the rookie Max Hayes. And then punt return will be Marcus Jones again and Max Hayes. And we'll do like Hunter Renfrow right there. Kyle Duggar. Maybe Clyde Edwards-Helaire too. Put him up here somewhere. You know what? Take over for Hunter Renfrow. Kickoff starter will be Behringer. Long snapper Cole Strange. Third down back should be Ramondre Stevenson. He's going to do it all this season. Or should we do Fant? I think I'll do Fant, and then power back will be Ramondre Stevenson. Slot receiver will be Hunter Renfrow, Hunter Henry, Max Hayes. That's fine. Judon on the left. Even though I kind of want to get these guys in. On the right, they have Keon White. Okay. And then D-tackle, Barmore, Bonner. They have Logan Hall. But we're going to go Bobby Brown. And then sub linebacker will be Jelani Tavai, Cutler, and Hardison. Slot corner will be Kyle Duggar, Quick, and where is Quick's already right there. And then Marcus Jones. There we go. So that's a good way to utilize everybody flexing some of these players with this, unorthodox Patriots defense. But week one, we have the Green Bay Packers. We are 81 overall, 83 defense, 81 offense. Our season goal, we've been setting it to 4 wins. We're upping it to 7. Could cost Gerard Mayo his job, but y'all know the candidates that we always have that we can interview that could come in and take over if he does get put on the hot seat. Auto generate the last class, and look at that. 2 quarterbacks, 1 and 2. Bryce Spencer and Colin Godwin. One of those two could replace Cologne if he does not exceed. He has to exceed expectations this season. But we're starting off on the road at Lambeau in Green Bay. See if we can get the win against the Packers. And we do, 21-7. Great performance by the defense, holding them to only 7 points. And we ran the ball, shut the run down. We shut the pass game down. Passing was not our strength. But one thing I will say, no turnovers. 0. I am happy to see that. 8 third down conversions for us. We even got a 4th down conversion. And we just dominated. Well, Jordan Love played okay. But only 150 passing yards. Only 1 sack from the offensive line. So overall, it was a great team effort. Ramondre Stevenson was really good. Fant was really good. Demario Douglas with a touchdown. Only receiver with a touchdown. And then 2 sacks for the X Factor, Marquise Bonner. And then we had no interceptions, no field goals. But we get the win. We start the season 1-0. And now we have the Minnesota Vikings. Every team in the Division 1 except the Miami Dolphins. Going on a little road trip. We are 1-0 so far on the road. Can we improve the 2-0? Will we have more than 6 wins and continue the pattern of improving our win column every year? 31-24. And a bit of a shootout with the Vikes. We are shutting the run down. It was like 80-some yards the first game against the Packers, 50 yards against the Vikings. We couldn't really stop their passing, but Cologne not throwing interceptions, not turning the ball over. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, the best game of his young career. And they have a quarterback of the future throwing 2 interceptions. We've been there. That sophomore slump, Greg Riddick. You're going to have to go through the growing pains. Ramondre Stevenson, 70 yards. Cologne pitched in with 28. It was JoJo Day. But Jenkins, our tight end, our Gronk, 80 yards and a touchdown. Max Hayes got in. 3 catches, 54 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Could he be our next wide receiver after Hunter Renfrow, who also had 3 catches? Where's T. Higgins? Okay, he had 2 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. We just used our wide receivers. Y'all know I love my 4-5 wideouts. Jelani Tavai, Bonner, both with sacks. Christian Gonzalez and Kyle Duggar, both with interceptions. And we are 2-0 to start the season here in year 4. Where I click on a mock draft, where I don't think we have a first round pick, because due to the fact we had to trade up to get Marquise Bonner. But 2-0 Bills, 2-0 Patriots, the last 2-0 teams in the AFC East. Something's got to give. First home game of the season for us. And we lose 38-13. We have not been able to beat Josh Allen, I don't think, in this rebuild. But they shut our running game down. They're the first team to rush for over 100 yards against us so far in this season. And we can't pass the ball to save ourselves. I'm glad we're not turning the ball over. No interceptions for Cologne. They ran all over us, bro. Like, they ran us. 54 yards for Cook, 11 attempts for the backup Ben Wilkinson. Josh Allen, 35 yards on a touchdown, 2 touchdowns for their third running back. One touchdown for Andrew Jenkins. Chad Ryland making his field goals. But Buffalo hands us our first loss of the season. Now we have another division game against the Miami Dolphins. Everybody else 2-1. The Bills stand alone at 3-0 because they just handle business against us in New England. Now we go to Miami and we etch out a victory by 1 point, 24-23. We ran the ball. They ran it. We passed it. They passed it. They didn't turn the ball over. Well, guess what? We didn't either. 2 fourth down conversions. This game, we just mirrored each other all the way until the fourth quarter where we outscored them. But Joey Thomas got in, threw a dart. But Cologne is playing well. No interceptions so far this season. He's been kind of efficient. Stevenson's been running the rock. Hunter Renfrow working the slot. T. Higgins just throwing it up to him. Jenkins. Baby Gronk. We're going to call him Baby Gronk. And then no sacks from the defense. No interceptions from the defense. But the offense took care of everything else. And we are 3-1. Playing against Mac Jones and the Las Vegas Raiders. And, man. Now, y'all saw the stat sheet. Bruh threw for 28 interceptions last season. And I bet you threw for 28 touchdowns in this game. No turnovers from us still. And would you look at that? 290, 2 touchdowns, no picks. We sacked them 4 times, but look at him. 23 of 29 is really efficient. You know, he got his revenge against us. He did that. He did his thug. But could not run the ball. Where was our Stevenson 43 yards? Okay. Couldn't stop Devontae Adams. They also ended up with Juju. So Juju and Mac Jones had a personal vendetta against us, and it worked out for him. Man, Max Crosby just abolished our offensive line. Matt Judon, 2 sacks, a sack and a half for Bonner, a half a sack for Jabril Peppers, no interceptions, no missed field goals from Chad Ryland. Las Vegas hands us our second loss of the season. We are 3-2. We have the 0-5 Broncos. I like to call this a trap game because it is a trap. It is a setup. But we don't get trapped in this one. 27-7. We beat the Broncos. We ran all over them. 86 passing yards. Shout out to my secondary. Salute to them. No turnovers. They had 1 third down conversion to our 10. We skunked them 21-0 in the first half. Only points they got came in the third quarter. 21 of 28. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Mike Peters, I believe he is their quarterback they took last year, who does have superstar Dev. But we held him to 7 of 15. 85 yards for Ramondre Stevenson. Font with about 40 yards and a touchdown down here for the fullback on his only attempt of the game, Demario Douglas, who's been kind of quiet this season, but 6 catches, 92 yards, touchdown, 780 for Hunter Renfrow. We had Jelani Tavai with a sack, no interceptions, field goals, a couple of field goals made by Chad Ryland, and we are playing our best football of the rebuild so far. We're 4-2, still behind the Buffalo Billies. Broncos just signed someone from our practice squad because they're upset. We just handled their young superstar quarterback the way we just did. So mock draft 2 prepares itself in week 7 where we won't have to look at it. 24-21. We beat the Browns and we commit our first turnover of the season. But it was not an interception by Cologne. I will take a fumble. I will take a failed fourth down attempt. Anything but a pick. But Cologne, he's been great. He's been averaging like 2 touchdowns, no picks a game. And that's all we need him to do is protect the football, and then we'll let the rest handle itself. 2 touchdowns for Jenkins. Throw it to your weapons, your X factors. And we put the guy in a situation where it's sustainable enough for you to just come in, just do your job, and win. We got some weapons. We traded for T. Higgins, Hunter Renfrow, drafted the X Factor tight end, baby Gronk. Paid the offensive lineman that we had to pay, loaded them up at running back, and I wasn't paying attention to the stats here. Darren Hardison with the sack. Christian Gonzalez with the interception. Chad Ryland, I don't think he's missed a field goal all season so far. Looking to win that Kicker of the Year award. But we are 5-2. We have a weekly award winner, which is Christian Gonzalez with a pick 6 and 4 tackles. And we lose to the Hawks 28-10 right before the bye week, though, as we got 209 rushing yards against us. They shut our rushing game down and our pass game down. There go the turnovers. They just had to make up for all the games where, Cologne was 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. They're like, nah, bro, we gotta give you the picks that he should have had in the other games. All right. Lose to a rookie quarterback. Don't know who this Julius Anthony is. He's like 6'4", 230. JSN did his thing in the slot. Mario Douglas, another good game for him. Trent Brown giving up a couple of sacks. Keon White getting a sack. Judon getting a sack. Devin Witherspoon, that's their team. When I say their team, it's my team. But I am going to make a little change. Actually, we're just going to keep everything the way it is. I am thinking about doing it because Judon isn't really producing that much this season. This could have come to bite me in the butt, but I'm going to go with Barber. Get him on the field, not make the same mistake we did with Patton last season. And see if this we can put him on the right side. We can put Judon on the right side where they have Keon White. Change this to Judon, and then that defensive tackle, instead of Logan Hall, who I did not have there, I had Bobby Brown. We would go Keon White right there. Did they change anything else? Didn't think so. But we're just gonna make that little change, and we're gonna upgrade some of the players. See if we have any dev trait reveals, and look at some of these contracts, these last contract talks that we have to have with the upcoming free agents. We've had a good amount of money, a great amount of money, the whole rebuild. We haven't really been active when it comes to free agency. Mapu, I think we expected a little bit more out of him, but he hasn't played bad. But I don't think that warrants a contract right now. We'll wait to see what his stats look like at the end of the season, as he's not interested in coming back. Cole Strange, though, 2-year deal here for the rest of the rebuild. Demario Douglas, same thing with Mapu. We'll wait to see what happens at the end of the year. See if we can, upgrade. Free agency. Kyle Duggar, though, we're going to make him a Patriot for life. It's one of those fun gadget players that can do it all. Keon White, same boat as Douglas and Mapu. We're going to wait and see. But City, he's been phenomenal. Bringing him back. Still got 69 mil left in the bank. That is nice. Judon, probably end of the road for him. And don't know if we're going to pick up the option on Cologne. I don't even think it matters. But when you look at the midseason rankings, we are 24th offense, 18 passing, 16 rushing, 21st defense, 24 passing, and 26 stopping the run. But this is not the end of the season. We still have about 7 more games to go, and we have the juggernaut Chiefs. Reverse score 42-24. Never fun playing against the Chiefs. We'll be the real life defending Super Bowl champions. It was a great game by both teams. I mean, they just scored more points than us. That's how you win in the game of football. Cologne was really good, really looking to get that 5th-year option. Ramondre Stevenson might be his first game over 100 yards. He had a couple of 90 games, 98 for T. Higgins, 2 touchdowns for Jenkins. Really using the tight end this season, becoming the favorite target of Cologne. Bonner, the other X factor on the other side. So 2 young X factors being what their development trait is. They're being X factors in these games. But we're now 5-4, and look at the division, bro. The one season where we might slide into the playoffs. Bills may win the crown, they may win the AFC East. But we just wanna have an over 500 record, and we just wanna make the playoffs. But you got Dolphins at 5-5, Jets at 5-5. It's gonna be a dog fight. But we have a fight with the Bears, and we lose 28-7. Are we going to have a meltdown after the bye week? 0-3 in our last 3 games. Couldn't pass the ball. We're not turning it over. Font with the touchdown. Couldn't stop Darnell Money. Bonner. Hardison. But we are now 5-5. Just like the Dolphins and the Jets, which means we can easily, after this game with the Dolphins, be right back down at the bottom of the division. Come on, let's stay over 500, get our 6th win. We can't, and we have another crucial division game back to back. Have we won a division game? Lost to the Bills. Beat the Dolphins. Just lost to them, so we split with them. And then we play the Jets twice. And I need to go back to the schedule so we can look how we lost to the Dolphins in that second meeting. 10-28. They ran all over us, shut the running game down. They did what we need to do to win. But we've been losing these games, and I can say that it has not been Angelo Cologne. He's not throwing interceptions. He's, he could be throwing for more yards and more touchdowns, but he's not turning the ball over. He's not making mistakes. He's playing safe, free football. So this one is not on him. Some of these losses are not on him. Jabril Peppers with a sack. We have a 54-yarder. Chad Ryland, special teams. And we have another weekly award winner. And this one goes to Jabril Peppers. 10 tackles and a sack. And now another game where we are going to upgrade, because this might be the most important game of the year for us. As I did not look at the dev traits of, we had the corner, we had the center. And the center, Murphy, is a star. And then on defense, the corner, McGee, is a star. Big game against the New York Jets, and oh, man, we lose in OT. I know it's OT because that's one of those overtime scores. 27-21. We have lost our last 4, 5 in a row. Probably threw an interception. Yep. Still threw 3 touchdowns, but what's up with the yards, man? I know this is a running team. 2 touchdowns for T. Higgins, 1 for Hunter Renfrow, 4 from the center. Quentin Williams 4.5, Jermaine Johnson 3, Will McDonald, Peyton Turner, Sauce Gardner, man, they defense, and then Chad Ryland. It's not on him. It was blocked. But if that's why special teams matter. That block doesn't happen, we win the game in regulation. 5-7. Probably going to get spanked by the Bills. We don't. We save our season. And now we have the rematch with the Jets that just win the overtime. We can right our wrongs. We end our little losing streak. We shut the running game down. No turnovers. Cologne, I would like to see you throw at least 200 passing yards. 2 touchdowns for Ramondre. Touchdown for Hunter Henry. 2 tight end system there. And then you got Matt Judon, Bonner. So 6-7. This will put us at 7-7. We'd be tied or ahead of the Dolphins. We would split with the Jets. We already split with the Dolphins, and we split with the Bills. So we win this game. We split with the whole division. If the Bills lose, we'd be 1 game behind them, and we lose. So we're not even going to worry about it. Swept by the Jets. So close. 2 turnovers. 1 must have been a fumble. 2 yards away from 200 passing yards. He tried. Stevenson gets a touchdown. That overtime game. Judon with 2 sacks. Jabril Peppers. Man, that first meeting with the Jets going into overtime, the missed blocked extra pointer, that one is going to haunt us if we do not win this game. The Hendon Hooker game, probably should start him. He knows their playbook. And we win. Somehow we keep trying to hold on, trying to save our season. Might be out of playoff contention. But what is up with the passing yards? Maybe he's just a game manager. Maybe he's just not going to air it out. And maybe you're just going to hand it off to Ramondre Stevenson. But if he can throw these touchdowns, no interceptions, I'll take it. Stevenson and Jamar Gibbs, both at 76 rushing yards. 2 yards for T. Higgins, touchdown for Hunter Renfrow, touchdown for DeMario Douglas. So all 3 wide receivers. Did that say McLaughlin missed 2 field goals? How many times do I have to say it? Special teams, they matter. They lose that game by 1 point if he makes those 2. And the Bills, who were at one point 5-1, are 9-6, just trying to give the division away. Yeah, this is going to be a dogfight to the very last game, and we're out. First team with 9 losses. We're not going to finish over 500. Now, this is already a winning season in our own little minds because we once again have improved our record from 6 wins to 7 wins. It could be 8, but it's more wins. We also hit the goal of 7 wins. So Gerard Mayo should be safe. Couldn't run it. 3 turnovers. Down 10-0 at the half. And outside of this game where he just threw 3 picks and he had another game like this where he threw 3 interceptions, the rest of the games, no interceptions. He even had that week 2 game, I believe it was week 2, where he threw for 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, best game of his career. Cologne has stepped up this season, and he's taken that jump, that step that we intended for him to do. Douglas, Hunter Henry with the touchdown. May need a new center already. Last game against the Tennessee Titans, we are going to be last in the division again, and we are going to just only improve our record by 1. But it is an improvement. 7-10, last in division. Bills win it at 11-6, 9-8. Dolphins 9-8. Jets. But our offense 31st, passing yards 29th, rushing yards 21st, defense 19-21 in the stopping the pass and 26 in stopping the rush. So 21-6 was that last game that we lost. We'll look at the stats for that game. We ran it, and to no one else's surprise, didn't pass for over 150. Oh, we did by 6 yards. But, hey, 75 yards for Ramondre Stevenson. All our receivers got shut down. And Brian Cutler with the half a sack, Glenn McGee with the half a sack, Barmore, Jabril Peppers, a couple more other guys. Chad Ryland, 57-yarder, 2. So he's only going to have one missed field goal when we look at the stats, and it's going to be the blocked field goal game against the Jets. Otherwise, he would have had a perfect season. Probably win kicker of the year. Still could. And go up depth trait. But when you look at the top performers, it was Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Bijan, K9, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, TJ Watt, and Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner, Devon Witherspoon, Deron Bland, Brian Cutler. I believe that is our linebacker. Led the team in tackles. So our defense probably was on the field a lot. And then Kaiser White and Cody Barton. Looking at the stats, 30th in offensive yards. 27th in defensive yards, another 1,000-yard season for Ramondre Stevenson. Point scored 31st, and then we have not been able to get a receiver over 1,000 yards. But yards, worse. But touchdown interception ratio, I love it. Only 9 interceptions. As my TV is trying to shut off on me. 1,000 yards for Ramondre Stevenson. 2 touchdowns for Font. And this, fumbling problem, bro. Do we have to teach you how to carry the football? 3 fumbles? And why can't we get a run? If we're a running team, if we're only going to pass for 3,200 pass yards, not even 200 yards a damn game. How much did he average? 188.6 a game. We're a running team, right? You can't hold on to the ball. We're going to have to change this offense up. I usually don't do it. I try to win these Super Bowls with every team with their playbook. Yes, we could always just choose, Kansas City offense, Cowboys defense, whatever, with every team. But I'm trying to win with the playbook, and this playbook ain't it, bro. It's not it. 3 fumbles. We can't get a run over 10 yards. This season, we ain't even hit 10 yards. Our longest rush was 9. And one was our quarterback. Can't get a 1,000-yard receiver. Hunter Renfrow was really good as a wide receiver 3. Outplayed Demario Douglas, who probably won't get a contract from us. We might have to bring Hunter Renfrow back. We might need a couple of receivers. Might sign one and draft one. The tight end, touchdown-wise, is really good. I mean, quarterback play, that is understandable. What was our longest reception? 32 yards. But it's always been Hunter Renfrow every year. Offensive line, Trent Brown, right at 10. I will take it. Owenu, really great. Murphy, I mean, he was a rookie, and he had that one game where he gave up 4, so 3 was the other games. City So, worst season, and of course, we already paid him. So he got his bag, and then he just sat off over in the corner, counting the bag to see if we shorted him some money. Cole Strange was bad. Offensive line didn't play well outside of the 2 tackles. Cutler, we saw, was the leading NFL tackler. Should get his superstar dev trait back. And then Bonner led the team in sacks and TFLs. Judon, which could be his last season with us, 10 TFLs, 6 sacks. And then, the young guys I put under him, gave them a chance. 3 TFLs, half a sack. So we might need some edge rushers, and only 4 interceptions. 2 for Gonzalez, 1 Peppers, 1 Duggar. Forced fumbles, we had Bonner and Judon. We had a block for Jelani Tavai and Emmanuel Ogba. We had no safety, and I know we had a pick 6 with Christian Gonzalez when he won that weekly Player of the Week award. And Chad Ryland made all his extra pointers, made all his field goals. Yes, I said all of it because the one that he missed was a blocked, could win kicker of the year. Inside the 2015 times, longest 73, net average 50.7, average 53.6. No special teams touchdowns. Yearly awards, MVP goes to none other than Patrick Mahomes. Coach of the year goes to Nick Sirianni. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Patrick Mahomes. No Patriots. Max Crosby for Defensive Player of the Year, no Pats. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Michael Smith. On the Chiefs, we got Hayes at number 8. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to JoJo Galloway of the, what was that, Joey Galloway's son or something. On the Chargers. And then best QB goes to Patrick Mahomes. Running back goes to Jonathan Taylor. Receiver goes to John Rushing. Offensive line goes to Trey Smith. D-line goes to Max Crosby. We saw an example of that when we played against them. Bonner at number 10. Linebacker goes to TJ Watt. DB goes to Sauce Gardner. And then kicker is going to Joey Sly. Got Chad Ryland, who technically did not miss none, at number 3. But another season, another bottom of the AFC West. AFC weak is what I should have called it. But we're the weakest link in this division right now. Are going to upgrade the team, get through the playoffs, see if we have any Pro Bowlers. Won't be surprised if it's just Marquise Bonner. Let our team in TFLs, let our team in sacks, let our team in nomination awards. So and it will be Ravens-Panthers Super Bowl. Happy to see the Panthers there, actually, because that is the next team after the Patriots. Spoiler. But looking at the AFC side, Winu makes it. So somebody from our offensive line. Was not expecting that, the way they played this season, but the tackles did play really good. And then that might be, yeah, so not even our defensive tackle. Okay, shout out to Mike Owenu. But the Super Bowl is Ravens, Panthers. We are going to see if we have any depth trait upgrades. I don't think we will. Maybe the linebacker getting back to where he should have been all along. But Cologne, hats off to him, played better this season. We probably will opt in to go with him as our quarterback for year 5. And then maybe we make some changes at receiver to complete this offense. I mean, Hunter Renfro's been great, but Douglas didn't play great in a contract year. And then defensively, yes, Cutler, this aggravates the hell out of me because he was already a superstar. And then you don't even just bump him down to star. I would have, accepted that. They knocked bro down all the way to the most boring dev trait you can get. Normal. And then we had to work our way to get him back up to star and now superstar. And if they take it from him again after this season, I mean, I'm just probably gonna have to go in and edit it and just give it back to him. As Barber was a freaking X Factor. Fourth round pick. And he wasn't playing because we didn't know what he was. And with him not playing, with him not playing, he may lose his depth trait. That is crazy. That is wild. That is. that is. That is. So we'll see what happens after the Super Bowl. As I'm having a little bit of technical issues with my headset continuing to die, even though it's on a charger, and the TV trying to black out on me. Might have a loose cord behind my PS5. But the Panthers beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in the Super Bowl. 14-21. Bryce Young, your Super Bowl MVP. Carolina gets their first Super Bowl trophy. Got Patrick Mahomes MVP, Nick Sirianni, Patrick Mahomes, Max Crosby, Michael Smith, a tight end, taking over for Travis Kelce, Rookie of the Year, and then JoJo Galloway, linebacker for the Chargers. But we're gonna look at the retirements, and Shaq Mason, former Patriot. Trent Brown retires. We are in need of a left tackle. I can't believe we had an X Factor edge rusher, and I was playing a 34-year-old Matt Judon, normal dev, over him. But like I said, we've been hitting in the draft. X Factor tight end, X Factor defensive tackle, now X Factor edge rusher. In our past 3 drafts, we're averaging an X Factor at every draft, no matter the position. Tell you what, Cologne, he's going to be our quarterback anyway, but we're going to decline, and he's just going to have to play his best football next year. Now, Marte Mapu, I think we can bring him back. We have the money. We have to spend it. DeMarco Douglas, I'm thinking about bringing him back. We're going to let him test. We're going to see what wide receivers are available in free agency. Keon White, I just don't think he did enough last year. I mean, it sucks because these two, they're part of the same draft class, right? Production. It's about production. And we're going to see if might actually bring Hendon Hooker back. I mean, he's quarterback 3. What am I doing? We could throw that money at him, but he's quarterback 3. Judon, he's leaving. Rylan, he's going to get a 3-year deal. Should have been kicker of the year. And then our punter actually get a 2-year deal. They came in the league together. Might as well keep them together as our special teams. But we are going to free agency where we've been real quiet when it comes to free agency. So maybe this is the time we splurge, spend all our money, and we're going to check out what holes we have on this team. I know Trent Brown just left a big one, just left a huge, massive hole at left tackle. Receivers just got a little weak. But I mean, we got this guy. We got Max Hayes. We really don't have to draft or sign one, but we're gonna see what's available. See if we bring Douglas back. We have our 2 tight ends. We need a left tackle. We have the rest of the offensive line intact. Barmore. We have now a hole at right end. We got Bonner still with his X factor. They took it from him. Damn it. They took it. They took his job. Oh, boy. They probably would have took it anyway. But Cutler keeps his superstar. Got Jelani Tavai. Have our corners. Have our safeties. So, man. I'll still look at him as an X factor. But free agency, Frank Ragnow. Ronnie Stanley's here at tackle. DJ Humphreys, Deion Dawkins, he's a scheme fit and interested. Ronnie Stanley is a scheme fit, not interested, but we could throw some money at him, and I feel like we're going to have to. Frank Ragnow, we don't really need. Go with the young center that we got, despite the season that he had. Kobe Turner is here, who we can move to the right side. Got Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, Leonard Williams. Keon White is there. Lucas Van Ness, BJ Ojolari, Trent Simpson. Oh, man, free agency has been really lackluster, man. Marlon Humphrey's here. We like our corners. We like our safeties. I will tell you what, though. Ronnie Stanley, come in. Replace Trent Brown. Zach Sealer, maybe we move him to the right side. Or Kobe Turner, actually, who's played with Aaron Donald, and we have our own version of Aaron Donald on the team. And we get both. So we get our... there was no receivers either. I forgot about that. Totally forgot about that. Rashid Shaheed is there. Calvin Ridley. Juju. Could do a reunion. I think we just go with the 2 young guys we got on the roster and the draft. But looking at the positions now, I mean, we bring in Ronnie Stanley, bring in Kobe Turner. Either him or Bonner are going to move over to right end. And then we can look at edge or receiver in the draft, even though Barber was an X factor. I can't believe. Let's go to the damn draft. Didn't even look at the players. We were just gonna be picking, blind. But we won't be taking a quarterback. We need receiver, and there's some ton of round 1 to 2 guys. You know what? Let's do it. Let's make the picks with our eyes closed. I mean, we can't do no wrong when it comes to drafting. We always end up with the X factor, and I think we can do it again. So we'll just advance the week. Check out free agency recap just to see if like somebody signed Keon White and Douglas. But I had to let him go. Wanted to keep him. Wanted to develop. Tried our best to develop them, but it just I don't even want to do the workouts. We just looking for better. Why do we have trade offers on Kobe Turner when we just signed the dude? We just signed the man, bro. I know he's a defensive tackle. We have a defensive tackle, and that's what they're taking into consideration. But no, he's gonna be playing right in for us in this 3-4. And we are gonna start the draft. We're gonna simulate to our pick. We don't have a first round pick.
The Commanders are on the clock. On the clock now, the New England Patriots.
And it's two positions. Wide receiver. Even though there's a quarterback that looks like he's going to be great. And we have the pick at receiver. We also have... Is there an edge rusher? There is this power rusher here. But he's one-dimensional. There is a receiver, 6'5", 234. Do we go with the 6'5" receiver, or do we go with the 6'2" Isaiah Nelson, who also has elite strength, strongest bench press, B short route running? We're gonna swing. He's 6'5". You can't teach that.
Next up, the Titans are on the clock.
Oh boy.
Next up,
I guarantee the other receiver I was looking at, which I knew was a little bit better, I just went off of size, has the hidden dev trait. We're gonna look at an edge rusher. And which is our final draft. Could end up being our worst draft that we have had. Speed rusher looks okay. Yeah, let's just take another swing at receiver. Isaiah Nelson is there. And we have too many receivers on our roster. Probably should have looked at this slot guy. A catching traffic, A catching. A lot of A's. He had a lot of A's, bro. Not a lot, just saw that too at the corner of my eye. Running out of time here. And we're just gonna make a pick. And I'm already not liking this draft for us. Not liking it whatsoever. We're gonna go offensive line.
The New England Patriots now on the clock.
Tackle to back up Ronnie Stanley. This pick, 6'8", 333. I believe that's the same height Trent Brown was.
The Tennessee Titans now on the clock. The New England Patriots are now on the clock.
Probably go right in, get a backup for Kobe Turner. Tim Ham. Tim Ham.
The Tennessee
We're taking him.
Titans are now on the clock. On the clock now, the New England Patriots.
Would I be wrong to go quarterback? Probably would. Can't think besides a third tight end, like a blocking tight end, a linebacker, backup for Jelani Tavai. But I could see us drafting. Let's go Rashawn Shelby.
On the clock now, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next up, the Patriots are on the clock.
Could go receiver again, could go running back, could go tight end 3. More so need like a blocker tight end. Who's good at blocking here? You got this guy A to C. Trevor Bibbs. Great strength. We'll take him.
Next up, the Titans are on.
And right now we're just filling out the depth chart. Just none of these guys are probably going to start. Not even probably the 6'5" wide receiver that we just drafted.
The New England Patriots now on the clock.
Could use a backup free safety for Marte Mapu. So we're going to do that. Take this guy, Amari Hammond.
Now, it's the Tennessee Titans.
And some of these guys might have okay overalls. Just first draft, no X factor, not one hidden dev trait. As we have more trade offers for Kobe Turner. Not going to answer the phones. And we got 170. By far my worst draft and my realistic rebuilds history. But we finished with 7 wins through this losing streak and their losing ways. Gerard Mayo has been able to convince Robert Kraft to let him keep coaching. But we got better quarterback play out of Cologne. But we have lost some veterans on the team. We have lost some younger guys on the team that we had high hopes for. But we decided to go a different direction. Maybe that'll give us a spark. Maybe we have to fire the staff. I don't know what else to do with this Patriot team, but we got one more year 5, where it's a Super Bowl or nothing. But that'll wrap it up for Part 4 here in the Madden 24 New England Patriots Realistic Rebuild. Stay tuned for Part 5.